You all suck. Go and die in a bloody pit of hell, and I will feast on your souls as I compliment you on your fine hairstyles. On a related note, I died yesterday, but then I was brought back by a strange toadstool who told me his name was Phil. Of course I didn't believe him, because he was not holding his passport to Canada, which I noticed was on fire. But this fire was not an ordinary fire. It was blue with pink polka dots. And I noticed within that fire a small little leprechaun. I believe his name was Charles, although I could not be certain. Charles held aloft the sword of Excalibur from the bosom of the waters, and sliced apart the book before him. This book was the book that held all the knowledge of the world. The Book of Knowledge, you say? No, you idiot! That's not the Book of Knowledge! Everybody knows the Book of Knowledge is obviously this book, which is, it doesn't really have a title cover or anything. This is Encyclopedia Magica. This is the Book of Knowledge. Knowledge on magical artifacts, mother. No, never mind. I shouldn't really swear, because swearing is prohibited in the law of 1916, which, as you all know, causes drowsiness, drought. A Pokemon, no, not Pokemon, this is a Harry Potter trading card or something, which I have in my possession because I don't want to attract the attention of my coat, which you can't see because this is kind of dark in this room, and it's dark in this room because of the powers of the evil troll man who lurks under my bed, which is kind of weird because my bed is exactly on the floor. He must be squished as flat as a pancake, which is interesting because pancakes are delicious, and anyone who does not think pancakes are delicious should obviously die. And if you die, you're dead, which I was dead yesterday, as you might recall, with the flaming leprechaun whose name was Charles. Now, if you excuse me, I think I'll go and call in the Flame Dancer. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. He's real. Don't let this little card fool you. This just merely calls upon his powers of awesomeness and lets me summon him to a side in a bout of satanic flame. Which I dropped his card, he'll probably be angry at me later, and he won't call me to dessert at Old Country Buffet, which is a fantastic restaurant with fantastic people who should be fantastically awed at how fantastic they are. Now, to continue this rant, or this story, or whatever you really want to call it, this is my checkbook. This checkbook has gotten me through various situations. I've used it to kill my enemies. I've used it to persuade my enemies to give me money. I've used it to give money to my enemies. And I've used my enemies to get money. And in that order. Or maybe not in that order. For in that order would bring me an order of pizza. And pizza is good. But you know what's not good? Not being pizza. And if you're not pizza, you're not good. But if you're pizza, you're good. And so by that logic, that means that this piece of paper, which I am recording my weather journal my weather journal magic on, is the most holy of all artifacts, because it is not pizza. You understand then, in the order of things, that my hair is the most logical piece of my being. And by such a statement, I mean that this pencil is the most holy artifact in the face of the planet. The Holy Grail ain't got shit on this pencil. No, but you know what really takes a shit? People who crap. And you know who people who crap do? They take a shit. And you know who takes a shit? They do. And you know what they used to take a shit in? You guessed it. Pancake disposers. And you know what pancake disposers are made out of? Waffles. And you know what waffles are made out of? Pokemon. And Pokemon are made of magic. By that extension, it means that everything in this world means nothing. And by that logic, I mean the world is an utter piece of trash. And by that logic, I mean that you are a monkey. And by that logic, I mean that you are a primate of a monkey. Which means, quite obviously, that you are all far less intelligent than you think. And by that statement I mean, you are all geniuses. And by that statement I mean, you're not. And by that statement I mean, you are. And by that statement I mean, I am. I am the genius here, not you. This is what I have devised through my long hours of rambling, and hypothesizing, and scientific research. I've concluded from this long era of scientific research that everything I say could be considered nonsense. But then again, it could be considered brilliance in the same train of thought. And in the same train of thought, it could be considered the scum on the bottom of the barrel. And speaking of scum on the bottom of the barrel, last week I was talking to a fellow who works in a beer factory. And this fellow who works in a beer factory, his name was Jim. And Jim liked to eat Slim Jims. And he also was good friends with Macho Man Randy Savage, who, as we all know, advertises Slim Jims. And Slim Jim, Macho Man Randy Savage, was in a rap battle with, Hulk Hogan against Kim Jong-il. Unfortunately, they both tragically died, because Kim Jong-il kind of shot them to death with a bazooka. But you know what I say, North Korea is a fine place. A fine place if you, like worshipping a dude because he makes rainbows and magical stuff happen by his very birth. And apparently, he golfed a hole-in-one on his first try, or he golfed a perfect game, or he golfed a perfect something. But you know what's really perfect? Yes, Kim Jong-il is truly perfect. He is a man of great importance. And by great importance, I mean he's greatly important to no one but North Korea. And by that fact, I mean he's important to everyone. Bow down and worship him, you ignorant masses. He's obviously the god of this world. Good Lord, it's not like somebody who created this world out of nowhere. Ooh. But then again, it could be true. Or maybe it is. Who really knows? But I'm not here to discuss religion, but I am here to discuss God. In great detail. He is the king of children, the king of beasts, the king of beast children. And he will take Belle away from her little town in the middle of France, and he will raise her to be a fine woman. He will raise her to be the women of women, the women that all women look up to. And I can state this with great confidence, as I am the Beast's brother, and also his father, and also his uncle at the same exact time. This may sound confusing to you, but it all makes logical sense once you never think about it. So I must speak to you all with the greatest amount of sincerity and complacency as I possibly can. You might think I'm mad, and you might think I'm offensive, but I must warn you. No, I must not warn you. I must tell you. I must ask you. I must ask you the most important question. Who are you? Do you know? I'm not sure I know. But that all pales in comparison to the ultimate question. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? If you can answer that question, you have earned nothing, and you will get nothing, and your life will be a shallow, meaningless husk, because who the heck even cares how many licks it takes to get to the center of the a Tootsie Pop. A Tootsie Pop, the rare form, the rare cousin of a Tootsie Pop. It's biological evolution, you could say. Because instead of being made of chocolate, the Tootsie Pop is made out of poop. And why is it made out of poop? Because poop is obviously the natural evolution of all things. Yes. And in fact, one could say that evolution is crap. And by crap, I mean everything. And so if you take anything away from this ramble of absolute nonsense, you can take away the solemn fact that I am here to say nonsensical gibberish and nonsensical gibberish to the very end of my days. May you all have a very terrible day, and may God never bless you a single day of your life. If you have watched this, please, 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 do us all a favor, and go jump off the nearest cliff. And by that, I mean don't. And by that, I mean the same. Because all in the end, a meaningless ramble of nothingness might cheer up someone's day much better than one might imagine. So, to conclude this weird ramble, I bid thee all fortoir, which is gibberish for absolutely nothing. You all have my favor. Use it wisely. use it often, and always keep in mind that you shall serve me well in this world. Thank you all for watching. Hope you didn't take any offense from this video. I don't want anyone to kill themselves. I'm just joking around. So if anyone who has suicidal tendencies is watching this video, hey, first of all, don't do that. And second of all, come on. There's something in life that you are good at, and there's something that you can do. But anyways, this is my one and only host, Anton the Wise 93, and I bid thee all a good day, and may God bless each and every one of you. Peace off.